All right, so I'm down to my last question, but I'm going to preface this by saying there were 17 questions that came through in this canvassing that I did. And so it was really hard to narrow down questions. It was really easy because I think some of them were asking like what kind of dog you had, and that wasn't really important for voters, but you can
rescue. Benji is a rescue. He's a lab Great Dane.
Okay. Well, shout out to Benji. Okay, so last question. The development of the Park Hill Golf Course has been a divisive topic in the Denver community, and it's going to be. So when ballot measure 2.0 sees its fate, be it yes or no, when it sees its fate, what will you do as mayor to support bridging this divide?
This is there's kind of two pieces now, right? There's the vote by us as residents. Whatever comes out of that, I'm going to honor what came out of that. We also now have the lawsuit filed. This has been an issue for me since the beginning, that the state law says only a judge can lift that easement. And a lawsuit has now been filed to ask a judge if it can even be lifted. I'm frustrated because I feel like we should have answered that question a long time ago. Before the rest of us all got divided on it. And so I guess we all look forward to whatever happens there. I think the only thing we can do is, if the answer is yes, that the residents say, yes, we think 2.0 should go forward and we approve it, and a judge says you can lift that easement, I'll make sure we deliver on the commitments that were put in that community benefits agreement, and that we really deliver on those commitments. If the community says no, then I think we go back to the drawing table to say, what can we do here? It is privately owned land. Could I help bring that developer back and create a process where we could actually reach agreement on what we might do with this land?
Yeah, which I think those are great. Those are absolutely great steps, but there will be a divide in the community. Do you see an opportunity for you, if elected mayor, to be a part of this bridging people together to say, hey, I know that you didn't like the yes or you didn't like the no. How can I be a bridge to bring you back together?
You know how I would do that? I think too often in these processes, we talk to one side and then we go talk to the other. The way I'd do it is be like, let's all sit in a room together and everybody can watch us. And let's have a conversation about how we actually, what are we gonna do now? What's our plan to go forward? How do we resolve what's happened here? I for a period in my life, I did mediation work. I thought when I grew up, that's what I was gonna be. I really love it. And I did a lot of it around land use issues where somebody wanted to do something and, the community was like, we don't want that. And I would bring them together and say, what do we want? And what could it look like? And what are our greatest fears? And how do we address those? And the only way I know you do that is you sit in a room together, hearing each other. And I think some of the loss here might have been that we stopped meeting together. And lots of people have given me insights as to why all of that stopped and the tension and anger. But the only way I know to rebuild relationship is to rebuild relationship together in a room. And I would commit to be there too.
Can you talk to me a little bit about that room? What does that room look like? Who's there? Who did you reach out to? If it all goes the way that you would want it to go, what does that room look like?
To me, what it looks like is, so when I started down trying to answer this question about what is going on with the Park Hill Golf Course, I think I probably met with maybe 24 people. And I met with how I identified those people is I just asked every person, who else should I talk to? And they told me. I would reach out to all of those people and say, is this everyone who should be in this room? Is 25 the right number or is it 35? And I'm not afraid of having a large group like that. And I actually think it still works, but that's what I would do is who feels that, listen, I think when I look at that process and I look at that asset, I feel like this was an opportunity to unify a neighborhood about what was possible. And instead, what ended up happening is we not only divided a neighborhood, we divided an entire city. And we never took the moments when they might have presented to stop and say, we are not going to continue down this road. And I think whatever happens in this vote, we get the chance to stop and say, let's bring ourselves back together now. Whether you won or lost or however you're feeling, it is what it is. What do we need to do to rebuild? And I think this is what happens with almost everything. This is how you repair damaged relationships, right? You hear what you did that hurt others, that was disrespectful, and we find a way to repair it. And I think each person there gets to talk about what repairs that relationship and what does it look like. And sometimes it's as simple as apology, and sometimes it's real reparations that we owe. And we're capable of doing both of those things.
Sweet. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk through. I'm going to continue to canvas as this continues to, march along until April 4th and probably going into June. But I can also commit that I'm going to continue to canvas even after if there is a Brough administration. I'm going to continue to canvas and continue to celebrate you when you're doing right and hold you accountable when there are opportunities for us to rethink and reshape and reimagine. So
thank you. I'm going to say this to you. I think no matter what happens in this race, what makes us better people is when people do just what you said, right? My heart is open. I know I'm not right about everything, and I know my own truth and my own life experience is just mine. It will shape me, but I'm open to being shaped by others' life experiences and understanding those and changing my mind. And I'm so grateful for people like you who are helping do that.
Right on. Well, thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely.